Welcome to DataPencil. Hello everyone, welcome back to our SQL plus AI course, which is absolutely free certification course. So a quick reminder for those who are new to this channel and who want to join this course, you can simply WhatsApp us on the number which is shown on the screen. You can also join our WhatsApp channel that you are seeing here. All important updates, announcements and batch related information are shared there regularly. Do subscribe to this channel as well, our DataPencil channel, so you don't miss any updates about upcoming batches and sessions. If you are active on LinkedIn, you can also follow Kalyani Bhatnagar and DataPencil on LinkedIn. If you are not active on LinkedIn, then it will be good if you will make your profile on LinkedIn, okay? And I regularly post SQL based polls there which help you to practice and improve your SQL thinking on daily basis. So now let's begin our module 7. So guys, till now what we have learned how to read data, how to filter it using where and having, and then how can we summarize it into a meaningful number. Okay, but what happened, sometimes these things are not enough. We need some extra things to extract our exact answers. So what I am saying, let's understand. In this module 7, we will discuss a term called subquery. Subquery, okay? And this is a very important topic. So if you are doing anything, please keep everything aside and focus fully here. So for now, let's assume that you have a big kitchen, okay? If there is a big kitchen, and inside this big kitchen there is one small kitchen where we cook food. So a big kitchen, inside this there is a small kitchen. Now in this big kitchen there are chefs working, they are cooking, okay? But in this small kitchen there is a preparation of spices, means this small kitchen makes what? Spices. So from this small kitchen we get spice. And then this spice will be delivered to this big kitchen where all chefs are working, and then they can easily cook their foods using this spice. Okay, so what is happening here? This small kitchen is giving output which is a spice, and this output is used by this big kitchen's chefs. Okay, they are using the output of this small kitchen. In the same way, we have a big query called outer query. But we cannot solve this outer query without help of a small query called subquery. Means we have to firstly solve this small query, okay, and this output then will go to this bigger query, outer query, and then only we can get our final result. So this is smaller one, okay, whose output matters for the outer query, for the bigger query, this smaller one is called as subquery. Alright, now let's see how can we write, the way of writing, what are the syntaxes for this subquery. So there are several cases. It means we can use subquery with select statement. We can use subquery with where clause, okay, and we can use this subquery with from, and there is one more called correlated subquery. So now when we have to mention the subquery with select statement, how can we do? We can simply write select, then we write the name of columns, okay, so column 1, column 2, and if the third column, second column, fourth column is not directly known, means firstly we have to find the column, okay, we need a result, it is not directly known, then we will write here the subquery part. Means solving this query we can get our column 3. Okay, so we can write the subquery with the select statement. How can we write? We have to simply write select, then the name of columns, and then the subquery part. And this subquery part's result will provide us the last column, whatever is needed. Okay. Now we can also use the subquery with where clause. How can we write? So select thing we have to write from thing, and then after that when we write where and we have to give here condition, so we can write where suppose employee ID is equal to, and then we can give the subquery. Okay, right? What else? Or we can write where column name or employee ID in, okay, in the subquery part. Whatever be the result, if this exists in this list, then we will get our final result. Okay, so we can use it with select statement, with where clause, as well as inside the from. Means when we are writing select column names and then from, then instead of writing the table name, we can apply here subquery. This subquery will firstly gives us a table. Okay, then from that table, whatever data, whatever result we want, we can retrieve that. Another one is called correlated subquery. Okay, so suppose we have written our code normal, select column from, okay, then we have written where clause, and then inside this where clause we have given our subquery part. Okay, inside this we have given our subquery part. Now in correlated, what happens, this subquery and the remaining one, this remaining one is called outer query. Okay, the remaining one is called outer query. So inside what happens, they both are interrelated, means they will pick one by one. If here we have selected employee ID, okay, then it will firstly take employee ID 1 and then it will check the corresponding result for the employee ID 1 only. Okay, then it will take employee ID 2 and then it will check the corresponding result of employee ID 2 in this subquery. Okay, so it means the outer query and the subquery are interrelated. If here employee ID 1, then it will check for 1 only. If 2, then it will check for 2 only. And one by one, the row wise, we can retrieve our whole result. Okay, now we will discuss everything in detail. So let's take the examples and cases one by one and then it will be clear. And before explaining the cases, let's discuss how will we understand that in this particular query we need subquery. Okay, we can get the answer by writing by using subquery only. How can we find it? So guys, as we know that subquery means now what? Subquery means a query written inside another query. A query written inside another query. Okay, this is subquery. Now how can we find that, okay, in this particular query, in this particular question, we have to use subquery? So you have to ask yourself after reading the question that does my final answer depend on another value, okay, that is not directly available in the table? What you will have to ask, does my final answer depend on another value and this value is not directly available in the table? If it is a condition, then definitely we will use subquery. What else question you can ask? Do I need to first calculate something? Okay, if there is a need to firstly calculate something and then compares the rows against it, means where salary is greater than something, average salary. Okay, if salary is lesser than maximum salary, right? But few of you might ask that why not we can simply write here where salary, we can simply write it like this, where salary is greater than average salary. We can apply the aggregate function here. So no guys, we cannot apply aggregate function after the where like this. Okay, you will get an error because this where works row by row. Okay, and it is something in whole. So we cannot write it like this. So whenever there is a need to firstly calculate something, like we have to firstly calculate average, calculate total, then there is a need to apply subquery. Okay, so we can think these questions and then it will be bit easy for us to understand whether in this particular query there is a need to apply subquery or not. Right? Now suppose the question is saying, okay, we have a question and it is saying to show all employees from IT department. We need to show all employees from IT department. How can you show? You will simply write select star from employee table where, okay, where department is equal to IT. Is there any need of calculation? Is there any dependency? Okay, nothing. We just have to filter that where department is IT. This is it. Now, another question is saying show employees earning more than average salary. We have to find the employees who are earning more than average salary. So how can you find it? So firstly, you should know the average salary. You will have the output of average salary. So how can you find? You will simply write here select all from employee table where salary is greater than, we cannot write average salary, we have to give a subquery here. So in this, for writing the subquery, we have to start with it, with the parenthesis, and then we will write select. Okay, we have to select what? Average salary from employees table, and the colon will come at last. Okay, so let's see, select average salary from employee. This thing will give the output what? It will simply calculate the average of all these salaries. Suppose the average is somewhere 50k. So now the output for this thing will be treated as 55k. Now you will receive your final result. Where salary is greater than 50k, you will get only those employees ID here. Okay, so this is a type of question where we have seen how can we use subquery. Now we have a question and it is saying to find the employees from department that exist in IT. Okay, means from the IT department they want simply. And the thing is that there is no department name column here. We have one more table. This table is department table. And there are two columns. One is employee ID. Another is department name. Okay, how can you get the list of employees who are from IT department? So you can say, we can simply write select employee ID, employee name, or we can write select all from the joining of these two tables. Okay, so we can write from employee table and join it with the department table on the basis of employee ID, right? Also, we can use another option. There is one way to get the answer and there is another way by using subquery. So we can write select star from employee table, okay, from employees table where department is equal to, now we will use subquery, and inside this subquery what we will write? We have to select department from department table where department is equal to IT. Okay, this is also a way to find out the result. This is what I'm trying to explain, that join and subqueries. Okay, there are two ways to solve a query using a join, as well as we can solve it using a subquery also. Okay, I hope you are getting. Now let's see how can we use the subquery in select statement. Earlier we have seen we have used the subquery in where clause. Now let's check a case where we can see it in with the select statement. Okay, so your query is something that you have to show salary, okay, with the company average salary. What you will have to show? You will have to show the salaries with company average salary. Okay, salary with company average salary. So how our result window is? So now we have to make a practice of visualizing the result window at the initial stage. How our result window should look like. So result window will be, there will be column called salary. Okay, with company's average salary, but this salary is incomplete without the employees, so we have to take the name of employees as well, because whom salary we are delivering, right? So name salary with company average salary. So here we will write average salary, one more column, company average salary. So this will be something our output result window, correct? Now how can we get this output? So for this we need to select name of employee, okay, or ID as well. Here we are taking name, comma, then salary we want, so we can simply select the salary column, salary, comma, and then you have to select average salary from employees table. Okay, and we can give it a nickname called average salary, okay, from employees table. This is a way we can find the salary with the average salary. You can say, I'm sure that many of you are thinking that why you are writing this whole code. We can do it in a very simple way. We can simply write select name, then salary, then average salary, and then we can give the name of table. This is it. By this we will get name, salary, and the average salary column. So guys, when you are using aggregate function, okay, aggregate function, so you can't write it directly like this. You have to use the group by as well, because there are another two columns also. So there will be a need to use group by, and this grouping thing is not needed for our query. Okay, it is not a requirement. So we cannot write this in this way. Okay, we have to find it in this way. This is a perfect way to write. Here name, salary, and then a subquery. This subquery is giving us what? It is giving us average salary. Okay, I hope it's clear now. And guys, I want to share a tip that if you think that we can do the same query in different method as well, then you should try. You should do it. Okay, just open your MySQL workbench. Nobody is stopping you. You can try different methods. This is a part of learning. When you try and you get the error, then it doesn't mean you failed. It means that you have learned something new. Okay, so you are free to experiment. If you are thinking that this thing can go in this way as well, then you can choose your way, your life, your way. Now suppose you have to find department wise average salary, where average salary is greater than 50,000. You have to find thing like this. So it is very simple. We are doing it already. So we can simply solve it by using the method that we are using. So we can write select department, then average salary, and then from employee table, okay, group by department having where average salary is greater than 50,000. By this, writing the code in this way, we will easily get our result. Okay, but there is one more way to do this. We can use the subquery. Okay, how can we do? By using subquery, we will write select and then the columns that we need to select, and then we can use the subquery inside from, means we can create a temporary table. And in this temporary table, there will be department and there will be average salary. This will be our temporary table, and we can firstly design this temporary table inside this from. So how can we design? We can simply write select department, comma, average salary, okay, from employees, group by department, bracket close. Then inside this from we have made a temporary table, and then at last where average salary is greater than 50,000. We can do the same query in this way as well. Okay, we will do it in MySQL workbench. Just after a few minutes we will do it. Okay, now there is one very important concept called correlated subquery. Let's understand this concept, and then after that we will do practical, and then things will be crystal clear for you. So the correlated subquery means the outer query, okay, depends on subquery row by row. Suppose here employee ID, so it will goes firstly first one, okay, then it will check the condition and then return the result. Then it will go with this second, which is employee ID 2. It will check here inside the subquery and then the result. Then it will go with this 3, check the subquery. If it is fulfilling the criteria, then it will, here it will be your result. Okay, now see with the example. So it is saying to show employees who earn more than their department average. Show employee who earn more than their department average. Okay, what we have to do? Show employee who earn more than their department average. If employee ID 1, what is the department of this employee, Aman? His department is IT. Okay, we have to take the average of all salaried employees of IT department. Then if he is earning more than that average, we have to put this thing in the result only. Okay, so this is the employee who is earning more than the average salary of their department. How can we check it? So for this thing, we need to use subquery. And we have to write what? Let's firstly see the code, then I will explain. So select from employee, okay, where salary is greater than their department. How do we know which department we have to select? So there will be a subquery, and see very carefully how I am writing the subquery. So here we need department wise average salary, right? Department wise average salary. So I will write select average and then salary from employees. Now we will not use here group by, we will write here where. This type of question you have to practice. Okay, after practicing you can differentiate why we are not using here group by. So where department is equal to employees department. Now, see very carefully, this is a concept of correlated subquery. In the correlated subquery, what happens that it runs row by row. Okay, it will run row by row, and this employee is defined by E. That's why E is written here. So whatever department is here for this employee, that department will be stored here, and then it will give the result for that department only. Okay, average salary will be calculated for this department. So let's see one by one. So firstly, once SQL will run this query, what will happen? It will enter in this first row. When SQL enter at this first row, it will see that okay, employee ID is 1, name is Aman, department is IT, and salary is 45,000, right? So So what happened that inside this subquery where department is equal to E department. So here E department means what? IT for the first row, IT. So the calculation for this average salary will be for the IT department only. Okay, for the IT department only. Suppose the average salary of this IT department is 40k. So the result of this subquery is 40k, and our query will become select star from employee where salary is greater than 40k. If it is 40k, it will be shown in our final result. Okay, first row is done. Now SQL will go in second row. In the second row, the employee ID is 2, the name is Ria, and the department is HR, and the salary is 52,000. Okay. Now this subquery gets the signal that okay, this time the department we have to take is the E dot department, means that this department where we are at row 2 and the department is HR. So now it will take HR department and it will calculate the average of now HR1. Okay, it will calculate the average of HR department. If the average of HR department is 50k, so now here it will take where salary is greater than 50k. If its salary is greater than 50k, then it will appear in the result. If it's not, then it will not appear. Then it will choose the second row entered in the second row, third row. The third row is Neha. Employee ID is 3. Name is Neha. Department is IT and salary is 60,000. Okay, it means here department is IT. So this subquery gets the signal that this time department is IT. Now this subquery will quickly calculate the average salary of IT department, which was 40k. So it will check whether salary is greater than 40k for this employee or not. If its salary is not greater than 40k, then it will not appear. But if it is greater than 40k, then it will appear in a final result. Okay, I hope it's clear, guys. So this is a role of subquery. It basically runs row by row. It checks row by row. Okay, whatever condition, whatever filter we put here, it will check for this filter by seeing the outer one only. Okay, now, okay guys, so now it's time to open MySQL Workbench and do the practical questions. Because without it, everything is just a garbage. We will not be able to understand the things in more clear manner. Okay, so I am going to use the same database that I have used yesterday, where there were these tables: the customers table, order items table, orders table, products table. Okay, you also have to use the same database. Now I have entered in this ABC companies database, correct? There is one short code through which you can see all the tables. Okay, you can simply write show tables and just run it. So here you can see that you have 4 tables in this database. Okay, so you can remember this. You can write show tables as well. Now, now suppose you want to know the details of this particular tables, each tables, then what you can do, you can write describe. Okay, describe, or you can simply write disc also, DESC. So describe and then the table name. Once you will enter this, you will get the description of your table. So see what it is showing. It is showing the fields, means the name of the columns, the data types, and whether we can fill here null values or not. So here you can see customer ID is a primary key, PRI written, it means it is a primary key. Okay, and here we cannot fill any null value. Okay, but here null values are allowed, and like this. So these are the 2 things you should know. Now we will do our query one by one, and our first query is about finding customers who have placed at least one order. Okay, so how can you find the customer who have placed at least one order? It means you have to select the customer's data firstly. Okay, so let's select all data from the customer table. Okay, from customers, right, where who have placed at least one order means where customer ID is in orders table. This is our orders table. Okay, and here it is a customer ID. Okay, means these customers have placed at least one orders because these customers exist in this orders table, right? So what we have to select here now, we have to mention a condition where customer ID is in this subquery. Now this subquery means what? So it is saying finding customers who have placed at least one order. Means we firstly need to find who are the customers who placed at least one orders, and this thing we can get from this orders table. Here we have all the customers who have placed at least one order, right? So firstly we need to get this thing who have placed at least one order. So we will write select, okay, customer ID from orders. If we can select this thing, then definitely we can get the list of those customers who have placed the orders. Okay, we have list of those customers who have placed order, but here it is written finding customer, so it means we have must have the name as well of that customer. So to get the name also we will write select, okay, customer name, customer ID, right, from customers, okay, where customer ID in this table, in this subqueries table, which is this. Fine, I hope it's clear. Now when you will run it, you have all those customers who have placed at least one order. Fine. Now the second query is about find customers who have not placed any order. So now we have a list, okay, we have a list who have placed orders. We can write select customer ID, okay, from orders. By writing this we can have a list who have placed any order, okay, but it is asking who haven't placed any order. So what we can do for haven't, we can simply write, we have to select these columns from this same table. Now where customer ID not in, okay, we will use not in concept here, where customer ID not in this subquery, customer ID is not in this table, Now when you will run it, you have all those customers who haven't placed any order. I hope it's clear. Okay, now if it is asking to find orders whose order amount is greater than the average order amount, whose order amount is greater than the average order amount. So firstly we have to know the average order amount. Okay, here it is written greater than the average order amount, right? So our first thing is to know the average order amount. How can we find average order amount? We will write select average of order amount from orders table, because this data is in orders table, and simply run it. So by running you will get the average amount of orders. right? Now whatever data you want, it should be greater than this thing. Okay, it should be greater than this thing. So we will put here greater than. Now the outer query, how we will write? We will write here select star from orders, okay, where order amount is greater than this thing, right? And this whole should be in a parenthesis. The subquery must be in a parenthesis. Okay, now let's run it. So here you have all those customers whose order amount is greater than the average order amount. It is 5,000, 7,000. Okay, now the fourth query is to find customers who placed orders after the latest order date of customer. Let's take customer Neha. Okay, it is asking find customers who placed order after the latest order date of customer. Now one thing guys, that the data that we have orders table, there is no order date. Okay, here also there is no order date. So we will firstly add the order date column. How can we add order date column? So for that we have learned to use alter table orders. Okay, and then what we have to add? We have to add the order date. So we will write order date, okay, and its data type then we have to mention, so it is date. Now let's run it. Okay, after running you will see that in your orders table there is a date, order date column. Now all values are showing null. Now let's fill values as well. So how can we fill the values? It means we are updating something, we are adding the values. So we use update. Update what table? Orders table. Okay, and set order date is equal to the, now we will give the date, and date format is firstly we will write year, then month, and then the day. So 2024 January 5th day. Okay, where order ID is what? Order ID is what? 101. So we can write here 101. And when you will run it, you will see that your orders table is updated for order ID 101. Okay, similarly we will fill all other values as well. So let's copy everything and paste here, and this time change this value. Let's make it 10. Okay, and it is for the order ID 2. Again copy, again paste, and this time let's make it 15 and order ID for 3. Okay, copy, again paste, it is date 20th and order ID is 104. How many rows? 4. So now let's run all together. Okay, and after running you will see that your dates are updated. Now we have the order date column as well. Fine. So now come back to our query, and it is saying to find customer who have placed orders after the latest order date of customer Neha. Latest order date. Latest means the maximum. We will consider it as a maximum order date of Neha. Fine. So now what we will do? Firstly, we will find the latest order date of Neha. So we will write select order date, okay, from orders table and join it with the customers table. On what basis? Where orders table customer ID is equal to customers table customer ID, where customer name is Neha. Okay, I hope now you are getting why I have joined this, because we want the customer name Neha. So that's why we have to join orders with the customers table. This is it. Now when we will run it, S is missed. Now run it again, and here we have this date. But if there are more dates, okay, more dates, then how can we find the latest one? Because we have selected only order date. We have to find the latest one. So to find the latest one, we will use this max function. And this max function will give us latest date of the customer Neha. Fine. So this is the latest date, which is 15th of January 2024. Right. Now we have to find the list of customers. Okay, list of customers who have placed the order after this date. So we have to select what? Select customer ID from orders table. Okay, where order date is greater than this thing, and this thing we have to put in a parenthesis, because subquery should be in a parenthesis. Are you getting what I did? So then I have selected customer ID from the orders table where order date is greater than this date. Okay, now when you will run it, you will get the list of the customers who have placed after the Neha. Now the next query is find products that have been ordered at least one. The product that have been ordered at least one. How can we find such products that have been ordered at least once? Means those products should be in this table. Product ID, order ID, where order items table. Okay, it means these products whose IDs are 1, 2, they have at least they have ordered at least once. Okay, now how can we write it? So firstly we have to find such products only. We have to find such products. So we will write select product ID from which table? It is mentioned in the order items table. So from order items, this is it. So by this code, we will get all those products who have ordered at least once. Okay. Now, if we want to see the other details as well, not only product ID, we want other details as well. Means we want product name also. So how we will write? We will mention here as a outer query that select all columns. Okay. From products table where product ID is in this table. I am showing just the demo data, right? This is a dummy data. So in this dummy data, you are seeing only 2 columns, 2 rows only, but there are large data, large values you will have to deal with. Okay. So from that perspective, if we have to find more details about the products, we have to use this code. And here we have product ID along with the name. Suppose other details are also there, then those details will also come here. Okay. Now, next is saying to find products that have never been ordered. How can you do it? It is a simplest query. This one is about the products who have ordered. If we simply write here not in keyword, what we can write? Not in keyword. Then we will get all those products list who haven't been ordered. So simply write here not in. This is it. Now when you will run it, you have such products who have never been ordered, and for this dummy data we don't have any such product. That's why it is showing null. Okay. Now if you have to find customers who ordered the product laptop, so first of all we will do it with the join process. Okay, because we know we can do it with the join as well. So let's simply write find customers who ordered from the product laptop. So we will write select customer ID. Okay, and now we have to also select product name So we will write product name and let's define its table is P and its table is C. Okay. Now can we join these two tables directly? No. Yesterday we have seen we cannot join these two tables directly. So we have to join all the tables. So from customers table C and join it with the orders table. Okay. Orders table O, where on the basis of customers table, customer ID should be equal to the orders table customer ID, right? Again join it with the order details table. On what basis? Sorry, order items table. On what basis? So on orders and orders items table are associated with linked with order ID column, right? So we will write here on the basis of where orders table order ID is equal to order items table order ID, correct? And again we will join it with now products table. So join it with the products table P. On what basis? So products and order items are linked with what? They are linked with product ID, correct? Product ID is a common column. So we will write on the basis where order items product ID is equal to products product ID. Okay, and what we want, who ordered product laptop. So now here we can write where product name, okay, product name is equal to laptop. Can we write it like this and can we run it now? So let's run. So here we have such customers who ordered the product laptop. The customers, such customers ID is 1 and 2. This is a way to do it, right? Now we will solve the same query using subquery. Okay. So let me. Okay. Now what we will do, how can we use it with the subquery? So first of all, we will get the list of product ID. Okay. Product ID where product name is laptop. We will get the product ID where product name is laptop. We will do this thing. Product ID where product name is, where product is laptop. How can we do? So we will write select product ID, okay, from products where product name is equal to the laptop. This is it. Once we will do this, we will get all those IDs where product is laptop. So the ID is 1. Okay. Now in the second thing, where we will collect the order IDs of this product. Okay. We will collect the order IDs of this product. So for this, we will write now select order ID. Okay. From order items table where product ID is equal to this 1. Okay. So this is a subquery now. This result is. Now when you will run it, you will have the order ID. This is the order IDs of this laptop only. Okay. Now we get the order ID. Now we want to find the list, customers list as well. So to get the customer list also, we will write this time select customer ID. Okay. Select customer ID from orders table where order ID is this. Order ID is this. So now there will be 2 parentheses. Okay. One parenthesis for this subquery, another one is for this subquery. Now when you will run it, so you will have all those customers who have what? Who have placed order for the laptop. Okay. If you want more details of the customer, then you can write one more outer query where you will do the select all columns from customers table. Okay. Where customer ID is in this table. So both ways will work. Both ways will work for such cases. So we have to be very careful when we are dealing with the queries. We can see we can simply opt join, or we can go for the option subquery, right? Now let's see more examples. While doing the examples, we have the clarity. So we can say that we need to practice as much as we can. And guys, if we can, start using AI at the beginning phase, then what happened, it so well. We will lose our interest in learning part, and without learning, without the clarity with the concepts, things will be very difficult for us. Okay, so our query is find total quantity sold for each product, show only product quantity. So you can simply say that we don't have this quantity column. So what we will do, we will add this quantity column in our order items table. Okay, so for that we will use the alter table. Alter table, what? We have to add the things in order items table, and we want to add what? We want to add quantity column, and this data type is integer, right? Now run it, and here you will see we have a column in this order items table. The column is quantity, and all values were null, so it's time to put the values. So we will use the update in order items table, okay, where we will set quantity is equal to the 1, where order ID is 101, okay, where order ID is equal to 101, and product ID is 1. Right? Now when we will run it, it is showing error. So we will have to set the save update mode on. Save updates is equal to the 0. And then when we will click on our orders table, then here we have quantity 1. Okay, now we will simply copy paste it and fill all rows. So our next is 102 and 2. So now you can see that now we have the quantity as well. Okay, fine. Fine. So come back to this query. It is saying find total quantity sold. Okay, for each product. So we have to select what? We have to select the product firstly. So let's select the product name, and then the total quantity is saying. So for that we will write sum of quantity. Okay, sum of quantity, and it is available in order items table. So we will write this thing. Okay, from which table? So from order items table, and join it with the products table. On what basis? So on where order items table product ID is equal to the products table product ID. Correct? We have to join these two tables because we want product name, and here we did the summation of the quantity. Okay. Here comma will come. Now it is saying quantity sold for each product. It means we have to find the groups of products. So we will use group by product name. And then the condition is quantity should be greater than 2. So we will write here having sum of OI dot quantity is greater than 2. Okay. Now when we will run it, we will have our data. So no such product whose quantity is, sum of quantity is greater than 2. If we can write here 1 and then we will run. So for such things we have some products which is laptop whose total quantity is greater than 1, mobile's total quantity is greater than 1. Now the same thing we can do using the subquery. So we can perform the same thing using the subquery. How? If we can create a table where there is a product ID and sum of quantity. Okay, where there is a product ID and sum of quantity. If we can create such table, then what will happen? Then we can do it. So see guys, firstly, I am making a table, and in this table there is product ID and the sum of quantity. Okay, from order items table, and as we want for each product, so we will use group by product ID. So when we will do it, let's see what is our answer. So we have this list, we have this table where product ID and sum of quantity. Okay, what it is asking? To find the total quantity sold for each product. Now we have total quantity sold for each product, but the condition is where total quantity is greater than 2. This is the only condition. So how can we get this condition? How can we? So we will write select all columns from this table that we have created. Okay, this is our subquery from this table. Now where this is, let's give the alias name as TQ, total quantity. So where TQ is greater than 2 or 1, let's put 1. Okay, now close this parenthesis. But one thing guys, when we write a subquery inside this from, so what we have to do, we have to provide this table one alias name. So we will have to write here as, because this was the table, this was a separate table we have created, right? So we have to give a name to this table. So here we will write as suppose T, right? Now run it. Now when you will run it, you will have the products whose IDs are this and whose total quantity is this. Okay, so there are two ways to solve this query also. First one is this, second one is this. Now subqueries concepts are clear, but still there are so many things left that we can do by seeing more queries. So what we will do tomorrow, we will practice a mini project. Okay, that mini project will help you to see everything at once. It will be a revision, and there we will see some different queries. Okay, where we will have much clear understanding about these concepts like having, join and subquery. Subquery is very important part. Today I am not going to give any practice sheet to all of you. After tomorrow I will give a practice sheet to you. For today you have these two questions that you will have to give the answer in the comment section. So your questions are this. So your today's questions are, why do we need subquery? Okay, and in which clauses can a subquery be used? These are your questions and you will have to give the answer in the comment section in your own words, right? So see you tomorrow guys with a mini project, and till then keep practicing. Take care. Bye bye.